Being born a Namekian might sound like a peaceful, spiritual experience. You're born in harmony, surrounded by quiet plains, two suns, and the soothing hum of wind across an empty, lifeless rock. Except no, that's a lie. That's propaganda. Because being born a Namekian is a cosmic-level punishment disguised as enlightenment. Let's start with the actual birth process. Namekians don't have mothers. They don't have fathers. They have one old dude. You don't grow in a womb. You don't get a birthday party. You get spat out of the mouth of a 500-year-old alien who lives on a floating rock and makes every child call him Elder Guru, like he's a CEO of suffering. There's no baby shower, no lullabies, no hugs, just mucus and destiny. Congratulations, you've just been born into a deeply religious dictatorship, where your sole job is to do whatever the floating slug king tells you. Forever. Now, why does this feel oddly familiar?
Auf der Heide blüht ein kleines Blümelein.
And your first job? Farming. In a desert. With no tools. On a planet where nothing grows except hope. And that gets stomped out before you're even old enough to ask what lunch is. Not that it matters, because Namekians don't eat. They don't snack. They don't feast. They don't even chew. They drink water. That's it. They're solar-powered lettuce people who sip puddles and call it a meal. And if you ever think about tasting meat, that's heresy. That's corruption. That's warrior caste behavior. Speaking of which, good luck hoping you're born a warrior. Because your life path is chosen for you, not by you. Elder Guru assigns it the moment your egg hits the dirt. Healer, farmer, priest, background character. And don't even dream about changing jobs. You think you're gonna study martial arts, become a fighter, open a dojo? Nah, you were born a support type and you're going to stay a support type, right up until Frieza explodes your face. And here's the thing, violence? Not allowed. Not unless Guru said so. Namekians are pacifists, strict ones. If you fight, even in self-defense, you've basically committed a spiritual felony. So when Frieza and his boys show up, and they will, you're expected to just stand there and die with dignity. Which is a nice way of saying, don't scream too loud when you explode. It gets worse. Let's say you somehow survive the weekly alien invasions. Congrats. You still have to live with the fact that you'll never fall in love. Not because you're bad at flirting, though let's be honest, you are. But because there are no women. None. No girlfriends, no crushes. No prom night awkwardness. Just a bunch of bald green guys living in stone huts pretending that friendship is enough. Romance doesn't exist on Namek. The closest thing to love is telepathic fusion. Which, spoiler alert, is also horrifying. Because when Namekians fuse, it's not a fun little dance. It's a spiritual merge. One of you disappears forever. Your mind? Absorbed. Your will? Deleted. Your soul? Trapped inside another guy's body, like a weird, eternal Uber ride. Piccolo did this. Twice. He literally stuffed 2 other people into his head just to keep up with Goku's power scaling. Imagine having your best friend and your grandpa permanently screaming inside your brain. That's Namekian peak form. But don't worry, it's not like you'll live long enough to reach that stage. Because Namek isn't just a boring, isolated planet, it's a galactic hotspot, a glowing target, the origin point of the Dragon Balls. And the second anyone finds out about that, you're done. Frieza blows up your village. Cell hunts you for energy. Moro sucks your life force out like a green juice cleanse. Even the so-called good guys, the Z-Fighters, treat your home like a convenience store. Hey Dende, we kinda wrecked Earth. Again, mind if we borrow your magical god balls for the 8th time this week? You're not a person. You're tech support for cosmic scale wish abuse. And it never ends. Your planet gets invaded, your people get wiped out, you rebuild, it happens again. Rinse and repeat, the cycle of green pain continues. And through it all, you're still sipping pond water and pretending you're fine. You've never eaten a burger, never kissed anyone, never had a hobby that wasn't standing next to a pond and reflecting on sadness. But hey, you can stretch your arms really far. That's something. Let's recap. You're born by being vomited out of a wrinkly space monk. You have no free will, no love life, and no meat. You're forbidden from fighting, stuck, farming air, and constantly hunted for your magical rocks. And the one time you do get a win, like when Piccolo fuses with Kami and becomes a god-tier warrior, it still ends with Goku stealing the spotlight. Being born a Namekian isn't a blessing, it's a punishment wrapped in wisdom robes. You're not enlightened, you're just exhausted. So the next time someone tells you, Namekians are so peaceful and wise, remember this. Peaceful doesn't mean happy. Wise doesn't mean free. And being green isn't easy, especially when everyone wants to steal your balls. So to make it clear, being born a Namekian really sucks. If you made it this far without weeping for the Namekian race, you're either heartless or Frieza. Let me know in the comments, which Dragon Ball species would you least want to be born as? And if you're brave enough to say Namekian, make sure you stretch your arm over and smash that like button. Till next time.